and whoever else might be there. If you're here and live, you may be seen. Unlikely heard, but you may be seen by the cameras. So, things like picking your nose, probably not the best idea. I'm mostly just trying to remind myself. Okay, anyway, we are going to begin. It still feels just great to be out here, unmasked. And of course, you have the option of wearing your mask, unless, of course, you are not vaccinated, in which case you must wear a mask. But for everybody else, no problem. Most of us are out and about right now, and you're probably seeing a mixture of people with and without masks. Businesses, we're seeing a mixture as well. So come, let us sing. Page 3. Let us sing to God. Lechuna ranena. Lechuna ranena, ranena, ladonai naria, naria, letzor yishenu. Lechuna ranena, ranena, ladonai naria, naria, letzor yishenu. Meka. Betoda bizmirot narialo, kiel gadol Adonai, umelech gadol al kol Elohim, lechu neranena neranena ladonai naria, naria letzor yishenu, lechu neranena neranena ladonai naria, naria letzor yishenu. And since we're talking about singing, let's sing a new song to God. Psalm 96, page 5. Oops. Shiru ladonai, shir chadash, shiru ladonai kol haaretz, shiru ladonai, barech u'shemo basru biyom, liyom yeshuato, safru v'goyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim niflotav, ki gadol Adonai, umulal me'od, norahu al kol Elohim, ay ki kol Elohim ha'amim elinim va'adonai shamayim asa hod v'hadar le'efanav oz v'tiferet b'mikdasho havul Adonai mishpechot amim havul Adonai kavod va'oz havul Adonai kevod shemo Zeu mincha uvo lechatzrotav ay ishtachavu ladonai behadrat kodesh kilu mipanav kol haaretz imru v'goyim Adonai malach avtikon tevel v'altimot nani amim v'mesharim yismu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz Yiram hayam umelo yalo sadai v'chol asher bo ay az yiranenu ko'at zeyar lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz lishpot tevel b'tzedek ve'amim ve'emunato ay nay yay nay yay nay yay nay yay nay yay nay. All right, let's jump to Romamu. Exalt God. Well, not normally, but over the last year when we did Key, you've been clapping, Key. Tonight, it's optional either way. You can clap, but I'd rather tonight you actually said the word Key out loud, okay? In future weeks, whichever you want, but now I want to hear Key, just sweet sounds. Bottom of page 12. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachamu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachamu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachamu. All right, we will be on page 13, and a special welcome to our most biblical family that we have, because it is Isaac and Rebecca. All right, with kids, Jacob and Leah. All right, this is like a huge outing, though. Oh my goodness, so that's why you deserve, oh, fantastic, because Leah's young and looking fantastic. Excellent. I like it. I like it. He's all, yeah, he's self-decorated. All right, I love it. All right, so we're going to be on Mizmor LeDavid. Yeah, there aren't a lot of kids, but there is you. Oh, yeah. There might be other kids. There might be mostly grown-ups, but you know what? Yeah, well, usually Ayal's here, but not tonight. You know Ayal, right? All right, here we go. We are going to be on page 13, Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai B'nelim, Havu l'Adonai, Kavod va'oz, ay, Havu l'Adonai, Kevod shemo ishtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai, al hamayim elat kavod yirim, Adonai, al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai, ba'koach, ay, Kol Adonai, be'adar, Kol Adonai, shover arazim, Vayshaber Adonai et arzei alvanon vayarkirem kemo egel Lebanon ve'esiriot kemo ven re'emim ay kol Adonai kotzev lavon esh kol Adonai yachil midbar Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh kol Adonai yechol el ayalot vayecheso ye'arot uve'echalot kulo omer kavod ay Adonai lama buyashav vayishev Adonai melech le'olam Adonai os Le'amo yiten Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Hey, yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, nai, yai, nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 yai, 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 nai, 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 yai, nai, 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 nai. Yai, nai, 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 nai. All right, also a special welcome to my wife, Karen Bloom, her first live service where there are other people here. Great to hear your voice. Reader online, as many of you know, and so not much greeting, perhaps online tonight, but we shall see. All right, Lecha Dodi, page 15. First two, and then we'll jump to 17, the last two. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela, Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Ishmi anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'li la 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 lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki imekor ha-beracha me rosh miyem nesucha. So ma'aseh b'machshava tchila la 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 lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. Bottom of 17. Yamin u'smol tifrotzi, et Adonai taritzi, al yadish ben partzi, v'nismecha v'nagila la 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 lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and face the entrance, welcoming our Shabbat Kala. Bo'י v'shalom ateret ba'a, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, bo'י kala, bo'י kala. Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, panei panei Shabbat nekabela. And we say to any mourners in our midst, Hamakom nechem etchem b'Tov Tzion v'Yerushalayim, may God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We may be seated. We're going to be on page 19, and we rose and faced the entrance to welcome the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride. We have a near Kala, near bride, right in our midst tonight. So Yadira, a week from Sunday, Yadira and Miguel getting married. So Mazel Tov. Pretty exciting. All right, page 19. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodot le'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Yagid b'boker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilot, alei asor ve'alei navel, alei gayon bechinor. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodot le'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. We continue silently. Tzadika tamar yifrach, k'erez balvanon yiske, shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun B'seva deshenim verananim yehu le'agid ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo. Adonai malach geot lavesh, lavesh Adonai azit azar, afti kon tevel bati mot, lachon kisacha mea, smalamata, nasu nerot Adonai, nasu nerot kolam, yisu nerot toch yam. Mi kolot mayim, mayim rabim adirim, mishpeyam, adir bamarom, Adonai, Edotecha, Ne'emnu me'od, Levetecha nava, Kodesh Adonai, Leorech Yamim. We rise briefly for the Baruch Hu, call to prayer, page 22. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed. May be seated, Baruch Adonai Le'elam Echalam. Asher Bivaro Mari Varavim. Boreom Valayla. Kolel Mipnei Choshech. Choshech Mipnei Or. Mariom Umevi Laila. Mavdil Ben Yom Uvein Laila. Adonai Tzvaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamari Varavim. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahaveta Amcha Ahaveta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadita Otanu limadita Al Ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbenu Kumenu nesiach v'chukecha v'nizmak b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla Ve'matcha al tasir Mimeinu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 25. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anuchi metzavecha ayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shiptecha b'beitecha uvlektecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beineinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. We continue silently, 27 through 29. Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvot. Tem kedoshim lo'echem ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeti etchem eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem emet. Adonai Elohechem emet. Emet kozot kayam elenikim. Malchuto Bratzen Kulu Lehem Moshe V'nei Yisrael Chanosh Shira B'Simcha Rabah Ve'amru Chulam. We're on page 32. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'eli Adonai. Mi kamoch Nedar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Hotzei fele, Nora tehilot, Hotzei fele, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, Bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze Eli anu ve'ameru, Ze Eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. V'demarke v'nayit Yaakov, Gulem Chazak Mimenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu L'Shalom, Amidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu L'Shalom, Amidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim. Mortzeitenu Uvoenu L'Chaim U'Shalom Me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu L'Shalom, Ve'amidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu L'Shalom, Ve'amidenu Malkeinu L'Chaim. Frosalina Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Atah Adonai, Haprei Sukkot Shlomelin, V'kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. Forgot to break us into the round. I'm so out of the habit, but we could have had a good one tonight. You know, we have a lot of singers, but right next week. Ashavua haba. Okay. Vishamru, please rise, page 34. Vishamru, Bnei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, Lasot et HaShabbat, Ledorotam Berit Olam. B'nei Yisrael, Oti Leolam, Oti leolam, oti leolam. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Now on this one, we pretend we're asleep, okay? I'll show you what to do. Copy me. Uvayom hashvi, Shabbat vayinafash. Pretend we're asleep. The other side. Shabbat vayinafash. One more. Shabbat vayinafash. And now we wake up. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. All right, Chatzi Kaddish, page 35. Yitkeral v'yikra shemei rabba. Adivrach yerutei v'amlich malchei v'chayechon uvyomeon uvchayedecho beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'imeru Yehesh me rabba mevorach ve'olam lo me'omaya yitbarach Yibarach v'ishtabach yibarim v'naseh v'tadar v'taleh v'talal shmei kutsha richu le'lamin kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata amiran be'alma v'meru amen. Private Amin Dua, pages 37 through 48. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. All right, we're going to do the Matbea Tefillah tonight, the short form, the repetition of the Amidah on Shabbat, and just because we can, Susan Simon's going to do it. So, page 49.
Susan's wondering if she remembers it.
Yeah, that's always a thing.
It's been a long time. All right. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam, vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa, vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa, vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i, vayikadesh oto, ki vo shavad mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Konei Shamayim v'Haaretz, Magen Avot Bidvaro, Mechayim Eitim B'Mamaro, Ha'el HaKadosh Kerin Kamohu, Hameniach Li'amo, B'Yom Shabbat Kodsho, Kivam Ratza Lehaniach Lahem, Kivam Ratza Lehaniach Lahem, Lefanav Navod B'Yirav Ufachad, V'Nodeh Lishmo B'Chol Yom Tamid Mein HaBrachot El HaHodahot Adon HaShalom Mekadesh HaShabbat Uvarech Shvi'u Umeniach Bigdusha Li'amedu Shnei Oneg Zer L'maseh Bereshit. And if you're in my Hebrew class, you should have understood a lot of that. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu ritzei v'imnuchatenu kadshenu b'mitzvotecha v'tein chelkenu b'toratecha sabenu mituvecha v'samchenu b'shuatecha v'taher libeinu li'ovdecha be'emet v'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava uvratzam Shabbat kodshecha V'anu chuva Yisrael Mikadshei Shemecha Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. Page 53. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah B'yalma divrach yirtei b'yamlich malchutei V'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman karev v'yimeru amen Yehi shmei rabbah mivarach Li'ala mulal me'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudashah Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiram b'yalma v'yimeru Tit kabal tzlo tahona v'utahon d'chol Yisrael Kodamu v'hondi v'shmaya v'yimeru Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimeru Oseh shalom b'mromab Hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael V'yal kol yoshvei tevel V'yimeru Amen.
Yasher koach.
Baruch tiyeh.
Thank you so much, Susan. All right, it's Warren G. Harding time. That's who we are up to in the presidents. And I could tell you just right away, he does not do very well either with the Jews or as a president. He's consistently in the bottom 10 and often, you know, really high or low up there. So he was from Ohio. He was a Baptist, but a big believer in science and the theory of evolution, which at that time was still somewhat controversial. And he had to tone that down to get elected, which that has nothing to do with, well, it has to do with the Bible, so it's a little bit Jewish. He was Republican, and he was the last Republican to get the majority of the Jewish vote. He got 43%. Now, the Democrat, Cox, only got 19%. So who got the remaining 38%? I bet you Alan knows, but everybody know? No, not, he wasn't running yet. He wasn't running at that point. He was done. Eugene Debs, the socialist candidate, got 38% of the vote. Nevertheless, he had some Jews, well, he had some Jews on his side. Remember, 43, he did get the majority, well, a plurality of Jewish votes, including Al Jolson, who sang his campaign song. And I don't know the tune, but the lyrics included, "We need another Lincoln to do this country's thinking." Mr. Harding, you're the man for us. Nevertheless, he was not very good for the Jewish community. He was not anti-Semitic himself, but a lot of anti-Semitism grew significantly during his tenure. He did vote against Brandeis when he was a senator, against his appointment to the Supreme Court judgeship. It might not have been due to his Jewish background, but it might have been. We don't know. He was in large ways responsible for the Johnson Immigration Quota Act, which stopped the Jews from coming here during the height of the pogroms. Anti-Semitism was on the rise. He was great buddies with Ford, Henry Ford, who had a newspaper, the Dearborn Independent, which published the Protocol of the Elders of Zion, the conspiracy that Jews run the world, under the title The International Jew. I mean, Ford was really, really awful, and most people know that. And it happened during his tenure, and he was friends with him, which doesn't mean, again, that he himself was an anti-Semite, but it happened. The KKK came to the forefront during the time period of Warren G. Harding, and so did admissions quotas at universities. Nevertheless, he gave a warm reception later in 1921 to Chaim Weizmann and Albert Einstein as they were trying to build up the land for the Jewish people, the land of Israel, not a state yet. And he wrote about Jews the following at the Golden Jubilee of the UAHC. That's the Union of American Hebrew Congregations, which today is the URJ, the Union for Reform Judaism. So at the big Reform Conference, Brouhaha, but it was called the UAHC. This is what he wrote. "One of the marvels of humanity's story has been the strength and persistence of the Jewish faith and the continuing influence and power of the Jewish people. I cannot but feel that these things are in large measure owing to the Hebrew conception of a personal God and of the individual accountability of men and women. So, I mean, he had positive things to say about Judaism. It's just he was unable or unwilling to stop some of the anti-Semitism that rose during his time. I should also say, just if he's known for anything, he's known for scandals, particularly the Teapot Dome scandal, which has nothing to do with Brit Milah. You either get that joke and you think it's hilarious, or you have no idea what I'm talking about. But Teapot Dome. But anyway, it has to do with oil and bribery. And he just wasn't the brightest guy, apparently. Presidents Wilson, Taft, and Hoover all agreed that he probably did not have the sechel to be the president. And actually, Harding himself said, "I am not fit for this office and should never have been here." Really. He died in office after contracting pneumonia. And Calvin Coolidge had to take over. That's next week. And there were articles written comparing him to Moses dying on Mount Nebo, because things were maybe starting to improve, at least economically, and he died before looking over to the promised land but never experiencing it himself. And sadly, he is consistently ranked poorly as president. But anyway, it's interesting. Warren G. Harding. Next week, Calvin Coolidge. Silent Calvin, he's called? Or yeah, Silent Cal. Why not Quiet Cal? But with the alliteration, but still. All right. Next. Karen has not gotten to be out in public, and except, however, last week at a comedian, 3 comedians, and she is a comedian's best friend, right? As you can imagine. But you were not alone in that, right? Like, Kelsey was right there with you. Like, the two of them were just dying hysterically. The comedians were having a great time, thanks to them. A lot of fun. All right. We are going to continue now with the blessing of our children. We've got at least a couple of kids who can be blessed. Or if you're comfortable blessing others, you can. And for males, we say, Simcha Elohim K'Ephraim B'chi Menashe. Females, Yisimech Kasara, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Yer Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God turn the face toward you and grant you peace. We rise for the Aleinu. Page 57. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol. Latet gedula leotzer v'reshit. Shelo asanu kegoye haratzot. Velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkenu kahem. Vegor aleinu kechohamonam. Vanachnu korim. Umishtachavim umodim. Melech mamlakim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. She'uno teshamayim ve'yoser haaretz. U'moshev yekaro b'shamayim mima'al. U'shchinatu zo. Begove miro mi'im. U'Eloheinu edod. Efesulato. Kakatu betorato. Ve'adata ayom. Ki Adonai Hu Elohim Bashamayim Mima'al Ve'ha'aretz mi Tachat Einod. Kakatu b'tor techanayim loch le'olam ba'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. We may be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends whose yahrzeit we observe during the coming week. thinking especially tonight of Annie Adams, Harry Adams, Leo Adolph, Daniel Barish, Hannah Rubinstein Barcel, Isadora Baum, Belle Berkovich, Joseph Berger, Anna Berman, Wilfred Carcel, Hyman Davis, Isaac Goldman, Murray Gordon, Ruth Gordon, Yitzhak Gottlieb, Marta Hankin, Thomas Hunt, Vera Jennings, Clara Toba Klein, Melba Datner Klein, Sadie Klein, Ruth Korn, Jacob Leon, Zelik Levitt, with apologies if I mispronounce this name, Yadira, Areopagito Silva Mendoza, John Noah Miller, Patsy Milner, Victoria Nagar, Blanche Olden, Helen Patricia C., Dorothy Rufkin Steiner, Alvin Strom, Moritz Wolf, Sarah Wolf. We're in the Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period for Dina Aronson, the wife of Steve Glazer. The memories have all been with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing Yortzeit, anyone else who would choose to, join me in the mourner's cottage. It's on page 61. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'alma divra cherutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedechol beit Yisrael v'galav v'zman kariv v'imru amen Yehei shmei rabba mivorach le'olam v'lamei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekutsha barichu la'ela min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shemaya Mechaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom v'imroma Huya se shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. May the memory of the people you've come to say Kaddish for be a blessing to you always. And let us say Amen. I'm doing elbow, but I'm coming out now like I used to do. Okay. Who else was in mourning today? Yeah. Okay. So for those who, that was always my tradition, was to shake the hands of all the mourners, and so I know who they are. So we're back to it, modified. Okay. Because after all, the mourner's cottage is actually, it is to recognize the mourners. That is the point of it. So you know who they are, you know someone might be crying or different, and that's your job to say amen to their cottage, so you're offering them comfort. All right, announcements. Tomorrow, 9:30, services in the sanctuary. Hazanit Yael will be there. There'll be a special prayer for the country, which is really a Juneteenth prayer. There will be 2 conversions, 2 people receiving their Hebrew names tomorrow. So very excited for Heather and Jackie. And oh yes, if you're watching, and even if you're not, Yom Halelet Sameach, happy birthday to our friend Neil O'Neill, who often watches and is great presence when he's in the house, so hopefully we'll see you soon, Neil. And I thought maybe there was one thing, but I can't remember it. Anyway, next week, we'll have Yadira and Miguel getting married, and next Saturday there will be an ufru for them, where we'll throw candy at them and give them a special blessing. What was that? Oh yeah, Susan got one more? No? Taser's Tech Study is still happening every Saturday morning at 9. Minyan is happening live in person in the sanctuary Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. I think that is now it. Well, Torah study is still on Zoom. Contact me for the link. It will probably in July. It'll be back at the Paulista Cafe. We'll see though. Okay, I think that is it. Now, our closing song tonight is a very short one, and Jacob, this is your favorite song. Jacob is the only kid I have ever met who knows this song, and he sings it in the Gan, and it's pretty awesome. It's Oifen Pripachek, all right, which is a song about little Jewish children in Seattle learning Hebrew. And I only know the first verse. He might be able to help, but I might not quite understand the between the age and the Yiddish, but Oifen Pripachek, Brenta Fire, und in Stub is Hays. Und der Rebbe lernen klein der Kinderlech dem Aleph Beis. Und der Rebbe lernen klein der Kinderlech dem Aleph Beis. Shabbat Shalom.